I'm Lauren with Pack Hacker, and today we're going to be taking a detailed look at the Owala FreeSip water bottle, which I've been testing for the last 2 weeks. Let's dive in. So starting off with the materials here, you can see that it's got a sort of like matte finish to it. This bottom half here is stainless steel, and then the top half is sort of like plastic. It's BPA free, and then this little top bit here, this like orange color that we have, has almost like a I don't know quite how to describe it, but it feels like a little bit of like a softer plastic. Instead of being like a sort of hard plastic, it feels like it should have some sort of a flex to it, but it doesn't. I'm not quite sure why it's like that. It does give it a little bit of extra grip when you're unscrewing, so you know it could be that. I think for the most part though, what it does is give this like a little bit of dimension, a little bit of variety when you're looking at it. So the color that we have here is a couple of different color combinations, and so there are a few that are like that that you can buy, but then there are also solid colors. So if something that's really bright like this really isn't your vibe, then you can get something that's just all black, and so you do have that option as well. So the one that we have here is the FreeSip version, and what essentially that means is just this lid is different, so I'll kind of walk through that. But there is also like a flip lid, which is just a straw where you kind of pull it up, and then there's also a lid that you unscrew. So there are a few different options depending on your preference of how you like to drink water. I personally like this one because of the features that it has, so we'll get into that in a short second here. But in general, you know, it has a fairly recognizable shape for a water bottle. This one here is a 24 ounce. There's also a 32 and a 19. And then if you don't want something that's stainless steel, there is a Triton version, which is essentially plastic. So it's see-through and it does lose that sort of insulation, but that is an option if you want something that isn't necessarily stainless steel. So this is a triple layer stainless steel. I'll pull this open here. You can see on the inside, so it's got a little bit of remnants of water still in there, but you can see it's fairly simple. I mean, if you're used to a stainless steel water bottle, then this is going to be a really familiar shape and style to you. Water stays cold up to 24 hours. It's not designed for hot water. Most of that is because of this straw feature. They don't want you sipping hot water through a straw. So that's more so what it is. And then in terms of design on the outside, it sort of dips in on either side. You can see kind of where it starts to curve, and that just, you can see it's like flat, and that just gives you a little bit of a better grip. So in general, really comfortable to hold. You can see a little bit of branding down here, as well as branding right up along that side there. So if you open this up, you can see at the bottom of the lid, there is a straw that detaches for very easy cleaning, and then this little like rim edge here, that's the plastic. I find it pretty hard to get this open, so I kind of struggled with being able to get that off in order to clean it. It's definitely possible, but I would say more so like I had a lot more luck if I used like a pair of tweezers to try and get under there. I, for the most part, didn't feel though I needed to clean it, but it is something where when you have a water bottle like this, you're going to want to clean it fairly regularly. So that, you know, goes back in there, and then essentially what it is with this top system here for the water bottle is you flip this handle up and then you press the button and then it flips open, and you can use it as either a straw and you just sip directly through here, or you can swig through this hole. So a couple of different things about this. For one, when you close it up, you just have to sort of close them separately and lock it in. This handle here covers the button, so it's less likely to just pop open when you're just carrying it. But this also acts as a carry handle, and it's really comfortable. You know, when I'm holding it like this, I can get like a couple of fingers to grip it, and then it just sort of hangs to my side. It's not really anything like uncomfortable to hold. My fingers don't bash into this cap or anything, so that's nice. It is like a little bit of an extra barrier. It's not as easy as just, you know, popping it open when you want it. You do have to, because you have this extra handle here, open that up. But truly it is like such a simple and fluid process that like, I just essentially like, you can see that there's a little bit of a stopper here, like 2 little balls on either side. And that's what keeps it from opening on its own. So you just have to push it past that. And then once you pop it open, it just pops open everything. So it is really, truly fairly simple. Like once you get past that initial little bit, it's very easy to use. And then with this here, that whole like sipping process, I don't have any water in here, so I'm not going to drink it for you, but you can hold it just kind of right below you and just put your mouth on it and sip like you would with a regular straw. But if you do want to use that sort of like tipping back sipping motion, that's what this is. And it feels very natural. It doesn't like flow into your mouth very fast like you would expect with there being two separate holes, but you can definitely tell that the water is coming from two places, which is kind of a weird experience. Something I got used to, but I, for the most part, used a straw anyway, and I like having the option between like a straw and a sip, depending on what I'm feeling, especially because when you get to the very, very bottom and you only have like a little bit of water left, you can tip it back and you can still get to that water, because the straw, you can see it's only on like this side of the bottle. And so you can't really like tip to get to that last little bit. So if you're someone who really likes to get the most out of your water bottle, you want to be able to drink like basically every last drop of water. This is really great for that because you can tip it back into your mouth when you're done. It does, it's like you can almost feel like where the water isn't flowing through that gap between like the big FreeSip hole and the straw hole. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, but as someone who, like I said, uses a straw more often, it's not a huge deal for me. And then in terms of additional cleaning, this little, it's like a silicone kind of mat almost, comes off really easily and then slides back on if you want to get really deep in and cleaning everything out. So there you have it, the Owala FreeSip water bottle. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel, and we'll see you in the next one.